Miss Sandra Hodges, as I have just met, says, I know we have a soul, nothing to believe or think, I simply know. Okay, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. How do you know? In other words, by what method did you come to reach that conclusion definitively? And in further words, how can I adopt the same method or a similar one to come to a state of knowing instead of believing or thinking? Or unless you're just special, just say that. Oh, babe, firstly, we're all special. I understand you want to challenge one's thought. The reasons for that belong to you. I will reply with this, my love, as I listen to Pink Floyd comfortably numb. How do you know it is cold? Is it because you listen to the weather forecast, because you researched it, because a friend told you, or because you stepped out of the comfort of your warm bed, completely naked, and felt it? How do you know what the sun feels like? It's not because you've seen it, it's because you feel it. Just the way that you feel the ocean glide across your skin, air going into your lungs. I'm not here to debate my knowledge or beliefs with you, only here to connect with you in only a way our souls can. Why should thought not be challenged? I love Pink Floyd, by the way. And I know that it's cold because a rose by any other name is still a rose. I mean, you could call it blah, 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 but, you know, and it's blah, blah. You understand what I mean? Imagine, for example, a baby who's just come into being in an environment which is cold or hot or any other sensation that you could describe. Does that baby not know what that is? No, clearly it knows what it is. It just doesn't have a symbol or a definition for it. I'm not asking for a debate, and I'm not asking you to help me if you don't want to. I mean, I'm just simply asking, how did you come to that conclusion? By what method were you able to do it? I mean, no disrespect, but you've said a lot of words to say absolutely nothing. Can you tell me? So that indicates something that stays with you after death and carries on into the next life. That does not happen. You have a personality or an ego, if you want to call it that. Ego, personality, same thing. And that dies when you die. It disintegrates. But you do have energy, and that gets recycled. I see the other commenter attempting to compare a personality to a soul, but they are mutually exclusive. There is no way for a personality to follow you past the grave. And the idea that the essence of who you are now will travel with you is just silly unless you're a Christian. Everything is soul essence. It changes shape and renews itself entirely. As far as why, it needs to disintegrate to rebuild and interact with itself differently. For as far as I can tell, the purpose of getting lost and having fun. And finally, really the only thing, this is the ultimate point, is that I have felt things deeply. In other words, had a very strong emotion or very strong thought or suspicion that something was true, which later turned out to be incorrect. In general, I do trust my intuition, and in general, it seems to point me in the right direction. But as far as my own intuition is concerned, it has not been infallible. I personally have not had a 100% success rate in believing everything that I felt or thought. Have you? Like Celium, I feel your focus is more around terminology instead of actually questioning if we have a soul. Absolutely, thoughts, beliefs, knowledge should be challenged when a person is ready for it. It is not our purpose or responsibility to push our own beliefs onto others, neither superior, right or wrong. Our truth is our truth where we are in our path. Of course a baby knows hunger, cold, discomfort, love, safety, and happiness. They cannot express it with words, obviously, because they have not learned how to speak. But they can still feel, know, and express. Children are our greatest teachers. No, you're incorrect. I've said clearly that a rose is still a rose by any name. I am highly interested in direct experience, however. Did I push a belief onto you? If so, when did I do that? Are you personally not ready to be challenged? I don't understand your point.